All right, today on Brian's Train Room, I've got a really cool piece to show you back here. It's the D404 track merchandiser display. Absolutely fantastic. We're exploring this thing today. Okay, so this is the advanced or dealer catalog available for 1962. So it's Lionel Trains and Accessories, pretty cool catalog, shows a family playing with a pretty awesome train set in front. But if you go to the back of the catalog, it starts to say, hey, we got a planning guide for setting up your Lionel Trains and accessory department. And remember, some dealers have access to this and they want to say, hey, how can we set ourselves up? It's a pretty cool display. Got a big L with some train stuff on the back. You've got cabinets with some really neat displays right here in the front. But if you look right here in the back, tucked against this wall is a D404 track merchandiser. If you go to the next page, it really sits and talks about this piece right here. And here it is right here, the D404 Compact Track Merchandiser. What's really cool is if you read the little fine print, it says you get this attractive display cabinet free when you purchase the following track and accessory assortment, which is all of this right here, which is accessories, O27 track, Super O track, and HO track. What's really interesting too, it says you get 13 of something, which is interesting because it would normally come in a package of 12. But if you see, there's actually a little asterisk right there, and that little asterisk says one piece is mounted on display, which is absolutely cool, and here it is right here. So this is the new D404. How much did all this cost? This is a total retail value of $462 worth of equipment. Remember, they would get that at a discounted rate, so they would buy this assortment and they would get this, a D404. Absolutely cool. This is what dealers were looking at when they wanted to order that. So let's start talking about how this thing even got to dealers in the first place. So this is the box that this display would have come in. It says contents D404. This is the track merchandiser for Gile, made by the Lionel Corporation, New York, New York. The box dimensions on this thing are 36, tall by 37 deep and 19 inches across. Absolutely fantastic. Big old box would have come your way to get this thing set up. Okay, so once you had this thing set up and you put all the pieces together, let's see what if a individual coming in to say, hey, I need some track or something to go with it, would have actually found on this display. Now this runs the gamut. Let's start off with Super O. You would have gotten 112 switches, the power switches. If you don't want power, you have the manual switches, the 142s. From the Super O, the 130, straight track, half curves, crossovers, all that would have been available for Super O. We'll say they had O27. Well, then you'd have the 1122, a right hand. These are the power switches, or the manual 1022. So you can kind of determine which one of these is best for your layout. All right, you've got crossovers as well. All this is O27, and this is Super O, which is absolutely fantastic. Down across the bottom, you would have said, hey, you need smoke pellets or smoke fluid or some of the switches and controls that would have come with it. Absolutely fantastic. If you had a layout and you weren't sure exactly what you needed to continue filling it out or continue the layout, this is a perfect start. Now let's take a look at the bottom. All right, so on the bottom, you can see the HO track here too. So if you had an HO layout, you'd also need any of this equipment. And of course, you've got different radius curves, you've got straights, power, activating sections, as well as all this over here. But there's also these really cool bins back here. And the bins, of course, had some stuff from up top. This would be some of the track adapters for Super O, the insulating pins, the CTC lock-ons, insulators, all those things would have been the packets that would have been in every single one of these, which is really fantastic. So if you really knew what you needed or didn't really kind of know, you'd have a little bit of everything to pick from, and your dealer would help you get all the things that you needed. That's why they called this a track merchandiser. The overall dimensions of the D404 track merchandiser was 96 inches tall, 37 inches wide, and 22 inches deep. This is a close-up shot of the switches. Notice, one side is powered and the other shown is the manual version of the switch for comparison. This is the close-up of the track and minor accessories needed for your layout. Note that O-gauge track is not shown on this merchandiser because only Super O, O27, and of course HO were available in 1962. This section would have been filled with all the packets of the small stuff needed to complete your layout depending on your track choices. The track and extra packets would have all been stored in the cabinet below, ready for sale or refills. The HO selection was wide and varied, and it would have been really nice to have had this display for HO layout builders to help them get just what they needed. Any collection of Lionel dealer displays needs a D404 track merchandiser. Alright guys, that's my video. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of it, hey, like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Also, want your feedback. So down below, great place to add that. Let me know how I'm doing and ways I can do these videos better. I don't do this alone, so I have lots of help from friends and fellow collectors, and there's some names at the end of the guys who've helped me really make these better and shared their collections that I can share with you. So appreciate it. Thanks for joining me on Brian's Trade.